Have you ever wondered why French is the most spoken European language in Africa? It's a fascinating story of power, politics, and cultural imposition. But here's the kicker. French is spoken by more people in Africa than in France itself. That's right. Today, over 120 million people across the continent speak French, with millions more learning it as a second language. But unlike English, which spread mainly through trade and education, French was imposed with one clear goal: complete assimilation. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw European powers scrambling to carve up Africa. But the French? They had a different approach from the British. They called it the mission civilisatrice, or the civilizing mission. The idea was simple but brutal. Transform colonized peoples into proper French citizens by erasing their cultures and replacing them with French ideals. French colonizers implemented a strict policy of cultural assimilation. Unlike the British, who often allowed local rulers to maintain some control and let English coexist with indigenous languages, the French enforced a rigid system. Their mindset? You're either French or you're nothing. French wasn't just a language of education, it was a tool of dominance. In French colonies, African children were forbidden from speaking their native languages in schools, businesses, and even government offices. Speaking local languages was seen as a sign of backwardness, something to be wiped out and replaced. This policy wasn't just about communication, it was about control. By making French the only acceptable language for education and governance, the colonizers ensured that the elite class, the ones with access to education and power, were fully integrated into French culture. Decades of these harsh policies left deep scars. But they also created something unexpected, an African identity that speaks French. Today, French is the official or main language of government, education, and business in over 21 African countries. But here's the twist. Africans didn't just accept French, they made it their own. In countries like Senegal, Ivory Coast, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, French has fused with local languages and cultures, evolving into something rich and unique. Without Africa, French wouldn't be a global language. In fact, estimates suggest that by 2050, over 80% of the world's French speakers will be in Africa. So, what made French colonialism different from British colonialism? The British approach was more indirect. They often ruled through local kings and chiefs, incorporating English as a language of power, but allowing indigenous cultures and languages to coexist. The French, however, believed in the complete transformation of their colonies. Schools, courts, and administrative offices all operated in French. There was no room for cultural diversity under French rule. This difference in approach is why English-speaking African countries often have stronger local languages coexisting with English. But in many French-speaking countries, French became the dominant language, even post-independence. But here's the incredible part. Despite its painful origins, French has become a tool of unity and communication across the continent. It connects millions of people from different cultures and countries, from Senegal to Cameroon, Benin to Madagascar. But the question remains, without Africa, would French even rank among the world's most spoken languages as it celebrates World French Language Day on every 20th of March? French is no longer just the language of the colonizer. It's a language of opportunity, creativity, and expression for millions of Africans. But as African nations continue to embrace their own languages and cultures, the future of French in Africa remains an open question. Will it continue to grow? Will it blend even more with indigenous languages? Or will Africans find a way to reclaim their voices completely? What do you think? Is French in Africa a symbol of oppression or a powerful tool of unity? Drop your thoughts below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more.